Hello and welcome to Tarot Pal again. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for patiently waiting for this reading. I know we are slightly delayed. I posted this one before the summer solstice reading, which I strongly recommend you go watch it. Especially what summer solstice with solar eclipse in Gemini. Those two energies will match no more than other. Okay. Also, I had a strong recommendation to give you around Sai Baba messages for the last Thursday. I somehow strongly feel that the messages that I've kind of channeled during the last Sai Baba message are going to be extremely important for you during the next 6 months. Okay, it's not just a weekly message. I just had an intuition that I had to strongly articulate that would play out in the next 3 to 6 months. Today we're doing a next 3 to 6 months understanding of what your relationship is going to be like. The reason I already have a time frame around this is because if it is not showing up for you in the next 3 to 6 months, I all the more want to narrow it down and personalize it by saying it to you. These are general readings. Every reading will not have a significance for you. Don't try to fit it in when it does not. Today we are going to see the next the next relationship that shows up for you. Excuse the language issues. We are under a Mercury retrograde. I hope you ignore that. Okay. We have 3 piles for you which talk about your next relationship. This relationship could be a karmic, a soulmate, or a twin flame. If you'd like me to create a detailed video around what these 3 energies are like, and just indication, when I say a karmic, it doesn't always mean that a karmic is a bad relationship for you. A karmic could also be the person you marry, because if you have taken birth with the intention, knowing that your higher purpose would be fulfilled by marrying a karmic are also great relationship. There's a misinterpretation of the word karmic, exactly like how there's a misinterpretation of the word twin flame around the spiritual community. If you're a returning subscriber, I cannot thank you enough for your continued support, your lovely comments, and everyday motivation that I receive from all of you to make more content. And honestly, I cannot sum it up in enough words how much your support and appreciation means to me. Without much ado, I'm going to start today's video. I've already given the disclaimer. These are general readings. Tarot is just about current energy. Don't try to fit in what does not work for you. Your free will and karma will always overrule destiny. The timestamps will give you every important information you need. If you are already following me on YouTube but haven't seen my Instagram profile yet, I strongly recommend go visit Tarot Pal on Instagram, and there's a different content at play absolutely there. You would enjoy that if you've enjoyed Tarot Pal on YouTube. That said, let me quickly show you your 3 options. So your next relationship again. Option 1 is Malachite Azurite. Okay, Malachite Azurite. This is also called the Truth Stone. Option 2, Rose Quartz. And option 3, Jade Merkaba. If you need more time, feel free to pause the video. Like I said, do not miss out the intro and the description information, because you will find the important reads that I strongly recommend for you to watch in the description links. I'll see you in your pile. Hello and welcome to your pile 1. If you've picked this beautiful Malachite Azurite stone, first message I want to give you is clearly you're ready to ascend. What do I mean by that? You're ready to cut off the bullshit from your life. You're ready to ascend to the next journey. You are emotionally, psychologically, and as hard as it seems in every definition possible, you are ready for the next adventure. Okay, and I want you to applaud yourself for just reaching that sense of security that clearly tells you that I'm ready to leave the past bullshit behind and get to the next phase of my life. Okay, that's the first message I want to pick everybody who's picked pile 1. Okay, you are very clear what the truth is and you're ready to face the truth. Okay, at the end of this reading, if you do continue to watch, we will have a yes or no question if you already know or you already hope who the next relationship is going to be with, and also we will take out some channel messages for you. Okay, the first thing I want to tell you about the next relationship is that it's clearly here to get you more practical, analytical, and grounded to the real reality. Is this the man or the woman you marry? Perhaps not. Is this the man or the woman you marry who is going to be a monumental relationship? Absolutely yes. Okay, this is the kind of good karmic that I consistently talk about. When we talk about karmic relationships, we often assume that karmic relationships are just going to be horrible, toxic, bad, and going to bring us miserable experiences which are going to leave us feeling crappy. That is a misconception I want you to get out of right here, right now. Stop having agendas around your relationships, because the next relationship you're going to get into is going to show you why. If you're somebody who's an anxious dependent attachment style, if you don't know what that means, Google attachment styles. Google some psychological understanding around why you pull the relationships that you pull, what your attachment style is like, and why do you connect to certain people that you do. Clearly, this file has a lot of people who are either avoidant or extremely anxious when it comes to their romantic relationship. And that's the transformation that the next relationship brings for you. It heals you, it uplifts you, it grows you. And if you had a person in your mind whom you're already dating or considering to date with pile 1, this person is a blessing in your life. You may not marry the person that we're talking about here, but this person is here to ascend you spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, to be ready for that person whom you belong with. And these relationships honestly could be lifelong or could be short term. Either way, I call them your karmics which you have accumulated through good karma, okay, through real good karma. And these people have come into your life to help you understand who you are, to ascend to the next level, to make you reach your higher potential. That's the first message I have for you. Your next relationship is going to be a game changer when it comes to who you are as a personality, who you are going to become through this relationship and through this experience. I'm going to keep it open, and I'm going to keep that available to probabilities as to how this relationship ends or what the outcome is. But at the onset of the cards that I see, clearly this person brings in great energies, brings in good intentions, and brings in passion, admiration, success, value add for each of you who get into this relationship. I'm going to start with the tarot so that you understand the energies at play, and then we'll get to oracles, okay? With the Queen of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands showing up, you could meet this person at work, or this could be a workplace romance. That's your first clue for your next relationship, okay? This is also a person who's extremely grounded, successful, nourishing, and able to give other people the space they need to perform at their best level. This could be performance within a relationship, or this could be performance at their workplace. Regardless, they are that perfect nurturing mother who can give the right amount of, let's explain this, the right amount of nourishment while enabling the person to experience life at their own levels, okay? Clearly, you're going to meet this person when you're passionately involved in your own life journey and your own life purpose. You will not attract this person at a lower dimension, and you're strongly advised with you know, if you see this Queen of Pentacles with the Get Grounded card here, her roots are very much dirty while her throne is beautiful. Right? She has fruit, she has money, she has success, she's intuitive, but she's very grounded. She knows what she wants, she knows how to get there, but she's very rooted. She loves where she comes from, she values where she comes from. She does not regret what she had before she came to the place that she's reached. She rather appreciates the journey that she's had so far. And when I'm saying she, this is not a she or a he in the sense of gender. It's more like the energy of the card. You could be a man who's listening to this reading. When it comes to zodiac, I'll quickly cover that. I have earth signs here, water signs here, and fire signs here. The only sign I do not have is air signs. So you could be a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, you could be a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, you could be an Aries, Sagittarius or Leo. These energies do not mean that they are your sun sign. It could be the energies in your birth chart. It could be the energies that you're embodying, or the energies that the person you're going to get into the next relationship embodies for you. Okay. First things first, the next person you're going to get into a relationship with is not going to over-promise than what they can deliver. Okay, they're going to be very real, very practical, very grounded, very logical with where they're going to the relationship. You might not always like what they bring to the table, but they clearly know where they are and how they're going to take it further. Okay, first things first, take things at the face value. What they say they are what they are. There's no manipulation, there's no trickery, there's no low-key agendas at play. This person is here to ascend you. This person is here to complete a cycle for you, complete rather a progression for you, and this person will help you reach there. If there has been self-confidence issues, or if there has been stability and security issues in your life, during this relationship, that's the healing you receive. Okay, there's definitely a lot of passion. Okay, I'm not trying to get censored on YouTube, but when I say passion, get the message. Right? There's a lot of passion, there's a lot of lust, there's a lot of admiration. You are going to feel energetic, enthusiastic, and it's a fast-paced relationship, but equally balanced when it comes to the groundedness of it. There is clearly, the first things first, the next relationship you get into has no lies in it. Okay, absolutely no lies in it. This person will say what they mean and mean what they say. They might be slow for your usual pace, but appreciate it because they will take you ahead in your next journey. Okay, you will have certain moments wherein you will need to take the decision and you will need to hold the reins of the relationship at your hand. You are the one who's going to be more emotionally engaged in this relationship versus the other person. Perhaps, and these energies could be interchangeable. Please fit in as you know who you are, right? If you think you're a person, because there's a clear earth and water coming together here, okay? If you think you're more grounded, you're more practical, you're more logical, you're more successful, you have more material wealth in your life, then you are the Queen of Pentacles. If you think you're more emotional, you're more nourishing, you are the Chariot in this read, okay? One of you wants to take it forward and take it forward fast. The other person is more grounded, rooted, stable, and likes to take things slow. What you are being asked of as a clear guidance is to do away with any past relationships or karmic ties that hold you back. Okay, there's a completion and a fulfillment that you clearly will feel before, during, and after this relationship. Okay, this is not a relationship that leaves you hanging for more, desiring for more, hoping that they come back or they go. There's a lot of push and pull. No. Even if this is a karmic soulmate or twin flame, regardless of whichever label you want to give them, this person brings peace. This person brings stability. This person brings hope of a better future. Again, I'm repeatedly saying, I'm not saying this is the person you marry. This is clearly the person who grows you, who uplifts you, who brings in happiness, peace, transformation, stability, growth into your life. Your clear guidance here is to get free, set free. Singing and dancing is a message in itself, right? If you're holding too much back and you're too worried about the outcome of the relationships that you manifest, that is the first message for you. Let go of that desire to know the outcome of every relationship you attire. If you're worried about what kind of people are you attracting, clearly the next relationship that comes into your life with this guidance card here, again, relationships I do not want, clarify those I do want, is a mixed message. Again, repeatedly, there's a yin-yang energy at play. Is this the man or the woman you marry? I will get into the reading deeper to answer that question. But so far, The answer is probably not. Is this man or woman you get into a relationship who's mean? Absolutely not. They desire the best for you. They hope to get the best on the table for you. If you are somebody who's very restrictive when it comes to what loving relationships mean to you, this relationship will transform it. If you are somebody who struggles with self-confidence and your own beauty, what are you worthy of? This relationship will change that for you. This is a beautiful, truthful, honest, grounded, passionate, successful relationship which throughout the journey, from the beginning to the end, will make you feel content, will make you feel like you're getting somewhere higher. This relationship will not hurt. This relationship will not feel toxic. This relationship will not have a base of assumptions. The next relationship you get into, you know where you are. You know what the other person brings to the table. There's absolute honesty and transparency, and you take it from there. After this relationship, whether you marry the person or you do not, you're clearly heading towards a better future. You're clearly heading towards a higher you, towards a more fulfilled, healed, successful, grounded, passionate, clear-headed personality than you've ever been. So if you've picked this pile, the first message for you is that you are ascending, you're attracting better people into your life, you're attracting better souls into your life, regardless of whichever label you give. You can definitely focus on your own healing, your own career, your own passion, and your own journey. And this person will show up on their own. It's a highly possible thing that you meet this person during traveling. With the World and the Chariot here, there is an element of travel. You might travel, they might be living at a far off land. There's a strong Scorpio energy here as well. This person might not open up that easy to you because again, they are more grounded and more clear-headed than you are. And that would lead them to take things at a slower pace than you're usually comfortable with. Okay, I'm going to pull in some channel messages for you now and then we'll get into your yes or no reading. Let's see. Honestly, even I've forgotten which chits existed where. So we'll just see what comes out. I'm going to take some chits from here. That's a lot of messages already. But just because I love you, we'll take a couple of more from here. Okay, whatever fell, fell. Okay, let's see. If you've already known this person throughout lifetimes, and I have a strong past life connection here as well, okay? This could be a karmic who shows up for you, whom you've known in the past, and the message here is clearly forgiveness for self and forgiveness for the other. By self, I mean that sometimes we make wrong decisions and then we just keep repeating that script on our head. Oh wow, conflict. Clearly there's been a fight. There's been a separation. This could be an ex who returns, but this is an ex who's not toxic, okay? Somebody who belongs to Asia, that could be a place. Again, death and rebirth. Strongly, clearly, a very karmic pile. Maybe a twin flame. I would say 80% of you, this is a karmic. And 20% of you, this is a twin flame. Saturday could be a relevant day. Saturn is another day which is related to Saturday. Oh wow, Aquarius. Some of you are Capricorns and Aquarius. Or the person you're listening to this for is a Capricorn or an Aquarius. Shadow work is what they bring in. I want to bring this card back to your notice. Relationships I don't want, clarify those who I do want. If you see the number, that's 9. 9 is a number of completion of cycles. I have the World card here, which is fulfillment. There is probably a chance of a better future if you can do more shadow work. Okay. If you don't know what shadow work is, if you'd like me to make you a video, please do comment below. Inspire. This person who is going to come into your life is going to clearly inspire you to be a better person. I think I covered that in my tarot messages as well. Summer is a relevant time. Please apply these messages when it comes to channel messages as to how it fits you. Moon. Moon magic are some videos I've already made on my Instagram account. I would continue making more videos around this in the Instagram account later. Please feel free to subscribe if you do like certain rituals and guidance around this. Your sacral chakra clearly needs healing. Your with this transformation card as well and singing and dancing, your creativity will lead you to the next relationship. Your creative endeavors and your inner transformation and your womb healing will lead you to the next relationship. Okay, again I'm reiterating with the Ace of Wands and the sacral chakra colors showing up. This is going to be a passionate relationship. Okay, you will immediately feel a strong attraction and you know where it's going. Wow, I just said Saturn, right? I'm just going to leave this here. Some of you might also be going through your Saturn return, so that's the age of 27 to 30 or 57 to 60. Enneagram 3, if you don't know what enneagrams are, that's a personality type test. You might want to go through that. Invest in yourself is a strong message for this pile. Focus on yourself, grow yourself, and the next relationship would be more than better than you can imagine. Again, creativity showing up with music. Healing music would be another great thing. A ritual I can clearly suggest you. Before you go to bed, please go ahead and listen to some healing frequency sounds. Okay, so 528 is love, 458 is grounding. If you don't know what chakra meditation is, if you don't know what healing frequency and binaural beats are, please Google that and listen to that before you sleep. That subconscious rewiring and that DNA rewiring is what you need clearly. When you meet this person is going to be single or available for sure. ISFJ is a MBTI read, MBTI personality type. Again, you might want to Google that. This personality could be you or them. Gratitude. I mean, with this, I dropped a chit. With this Sisterhood of Rose, if you are a divine feminine and you associate yourself with the divine feminine energy, doesn't matter whether you're male or female, you're clearly asked to get more rooted into your own blessings. Okay, before chasing the other man, you should never chase a man first of all, or a woman, but you need to go ahead and count your blessings. With the next chit showing up as 666, that's a clear message, right? Archangels as another thing I strongly recommend you to meditate on and Google and research further on. If you don't know what archangels are, clearly this pile needs to focus on its own career, in its own growth, before they get into alignment with who they are meant to be. If there are any illusions around the next person whom you're hoping to date, if everything that I've given here, that energy doesn't sound right with them, maybe you want to create, oh wow, I hadn't even opened the pile. This is where channel messages get in alignment with the tarot cards. I have a new moon here and intention setting and self-care. There couldn't be a better message in sync with Sisterhood of the Rose and new moon, right? Because Sisterhood of the Rose is all about divine feminine, and she talks about focusing on your self-care, focusing on the new, the fresh start. Okay, this pile probably, like I said, is going to get engaged with a karmic tie, but the karmic tie is a great tie. Don't get so at 2 wing 1. You could be an enneagram 2, 1 or 3. That's a clear message here as well. You're attracting relationships that are great for you only if you're secured and you're safe in your own space. Okay, next message. INTJ, another MBTI type. I mean, some messages are so self-explanatory. I don't really need to get into a long banter around them. Hold on. What are you rushing forward against, right? So wait. Wait and the truth will be revealed. This pile might also be in relationships. Let me explain it. Sometimes we meet people who are not at the right space or the right mindset when we meet them. And when we are too desperate to take it further, when we are too impatient to take it further, they will go ahead and trigger certain emotions in us which make us feel like they're not the right person, right? Please understand and decipher within yourself through your own inner journey, through shadow work, which is a card that came in very clearly, who is really a person who's not ready for you versus who's really a person who will never be ready for you. This is a knowledge and this is a wisdom that can either come through you on your own, which is the best road, or through a guru, or through a tarot reader or an astrologer, whichever road you want to take. This person is clearly going to be a spiritualist, okay? There's a lot of card here with gratitude and shadow work and Buddhism showing up. The next relationship that you're going to get into is going to be with a spiritual person. It's going to be somebody who's very grounded, very aligned to their practical thoughts. So there's a balance between practicality and spirituality, okay? Very self-confident, again with the Queen of Pentacles and the yellow showing up. A confident person who knows where they're going, who ignites passion, who will not promise you more than they can deliver, but you need to be in alignment and you need to get grounded to receive the blessings of the next relationship. Okay. The last part of the read is a yes or no question. So if you already have a person in your mind whom you'd like to know whether or not that's the right girl or guy, or if you have any other question in your mind, that I want you to take 3 deep breaths while I shuffle the cards. And let's see what comes up, okay? I'm only going to take upright readings for these. Okay, we have one guide. The answer is a yes. The answer is a yes. And I have something, and oh, the answer is a double yes. Okay, the answer is a yes, but you're not the person who's been asked to take things in your reign. Focus on your own self-growth, your own confidence and your own success. The person will take the due action, or universe steps in and takes the due action. If the messages resonated, please do consider like, share and subscribe. Every like and subscribe means a lot to me, and the algorithm changes huge with every subscriber showing up. Thank you so much for deciding to spend your time with me. Take care. Have a good day. Hello and welcome to Tarot Pal. Those of you who've picked this beautiful rose quartz, if you do love tarot readings, please do consider subscribing. At the end of this read, we will take out some channel messages as well as some yes and no answers for you. What we're looking into is your next relationship right now. The first message I have for you is clearly you should we give some tough love. You have a script in your mind. You feel like you're stuck. You feel like things are not moving ahead. And you feel like, I wish things would go the way I wish them to go. Right? You have an agenda, a theory, a script that you think is what love and relationships should look like. And life is unfortunately proving you wrong repeatedly. Okay, the first guidance I have for you as a message, even before we get into the next relationship, is to understand that you need to do away with your script. Okay, you need to do away with your agenda, and you're very intuitively aware that you're stuck in this energy and you're stuck in this loop only because you can't let go of this egotistical cycle that tells you that you know better. You know better than the universe and you know better than what's coming. The Hanged Man here shows about enlightenment. The next relationship that comes into your life is clearly going to be spiritually aligned enough to show you what alignment, growth and ascension look like if you're ready to let go of your own script. Okay, that's the first message I want to give to you. Clearly, the next person who comes into your life with the Hangman and the High Priestess showing up together is highly spiritual. Okay, they know where they are, they know where they're going. This could be, and when I say spiritual, I don't always mean good people. This is another thing. Spirituality could also mean that they're going through a dark night of the shadow, right? They're holding on and they've had a tough journey. Or you've had a tough journey. Please exchange these messages as and when they resonate, because this is interchangeable. If you think that you've had a tough journey so far, then this is you who I'm talking about. Or you come into alignment with someone who's had a lot of resilience. There's a strong Scorpio vibe here as well as a strong water sign vibe. So there's Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio who clearly shows up for you here. Your next relationship could be with somebody who either embodies these energies or it has these as their sun, moon or rising placements, right? You've had a tough journey so far and clearly you've held on to your grounds. Do not quit now. Okay, do not quit now. Follow your heart. You've had 7 cups to choose from, and 7 cups are not less. 6 cups rather are not less. But what is holding you back is delusions and dilemma. Okay, with the 7 of cups showing up for you, you've forgotten the difference between being right versus being loved, being right versus being happy. If you're too attached to your ego self, which talks about being too right versus being too happy, that is the first guidance I have for you. The next relationship you attract into your life could again be with someone who's not clearly sure as to where they're going with the relationship, But with your energy present here, they will clearly respect you for your resilience, your growth, your courage, and your intuitive guidance. And they will gradually perhaps fall in love with you. This is not a fast-moving relationship. You are being asked to focus on your spiritual growth and your ascension to attract the right kind of partner. This is a very clear message. There's a black and white message here for pile 2. If you are spiritually focused, if you are focusing on your shadow work, you will get success. You will attract better relationships. If you're not and you're stuck to your script, you will also attract another human being who's stuck to their script. Okay, I'm going to take a pause and I'm going to take a sip of my tea. If you hadn't taken a sip of tea yet, please go ahead. I'm back. This person could also be extremely spiritual and again comes from a past lifetime. Okay, probably a soulmate is also what I sense with this pile, and you would intuitively know somewhere this person is going to bring in a lot of healing and peace, but you're going to be the one, and I'm sorry, I do not sugarcoat messages. The next relationship you get into, you are the one who has more healing to do within yourself than the other person. Okay, you're also going to attract somebody who's extremely intuitive. They know where they want to go and they know how to get there merely through their intuition. They do not come with a very strong family background. By that I mean they did not get born into money. They did not get born into a lot of privileges, but they've made their own way through their own journey. They also care about kindness for sure. Okay, they also care about the upliftment of the overall human society. I've repeatedly seen through different cards, through Hangman and High Priestess, there's clearly a very spiritual person whom you need to come in alignment with, or you need to spiritually rise to get to that better place. Okay, I'm just going to pause this video for a while, guys. My battery is... We are back. So clearly a spiritual person, probably older to you, and I would say older by about 5 to 10 years. Okay, nothing less than 5 years for sure. If you hear me pause, I'm taking sips of chai. I'm a chai addict. Now you know. Okay. Crystal grids are another thing I strongly recommend. If you've not gotten into crystal healing, that's another thing I strongly recommend. The fact that you've picked rose quartz, maybe that's the first stone you want to get towards, right? This is a next relationship reading. Rose quartz is a beautiful stone for self-love, healing, unconditional love, and of course, beautiful relationships into your life. It also helps open your heart chakra. This pile with the 7 of cups and the rose quartz being picked, you have too many delusions at play. Okay, you have too many options on the plate, but you don't know what to pick because your intuition is getting blocked, which is why there's a trust the ningle. The next time you get into alignment with the next romantic partner, you would intuitively know who they are, and if you're open to consider, perhaps work on your heart chakra for about 3 to 5 weeks, and the person will very swiftly show up for you. Okay, I have the power to redirect my own thoughts. I'm going to read that message for you. Your thoughts do create the reality that you live. And one of the most exciting things about beginning the process of deliberately focusing thought is that law of attraction will bring you evidence of your improved thought immediately. And while old patterns may be hard to break, bringing us back to the Hangman, you're holding on to something too tight. Let it go. Okay? You may slip back into your old patterns from time to time. Evidence of your effort will be undeniable to you, and before long, with much less effort than you spend trying to dodge negative conversations or train another into better behavior, all of your relationships will improve. I'll read this card again. It's the number 8. It's the number of prosperity. I have the power to redirect my own thoughts. There's perhaps a lot of ancestral healing that the next relationship also brings into your life. If you're someone who's had mother wounds or who's had grandmother wounds, that's another thing that shows up. That is coming in. Or you might be someone whose grandmother's blessings. I recently heard a podcast, and of course, as a spiritualist, I consistently focus on evolving my own spiritual knowledge. I read this beautiful quote and then I led on to the podcast of the person. Our grandmother's blessings and our grandmother's prayers for our better life are still working for us. If you understand this message, that's the core of the next relationship you're attracting. Okay, there are people before us, or there are people when we were much younger, who have prayed for us to have a wonderful life, and those prayers protect us. This could also be a person who's very attached to the females of his life. So his mother, his sister, his or her female around his or her life could be very important to this person, the next person you're attracting. And this person is clearly very intuitive, very grounded to what they want. They've had a difficult life and they're self-made for sure. Okay, you will not be the center of their world, that's for sure. They have more than one thing to do. They are very busy and they do not have the time to make you the center of the world. You should not make them the center of the world either, because healthy people don't do that. I hope that was a lot of messages for you when it comes to the next relationship that you're attracting, and your own core guidance, with a strong message that I also channel in for this rose quartz that you've picked with crystals and 7 of Cups showing up. Don't attach yourself to outcomes. With the Hangman and the 7 of Cups and the 9 of Wands, I mean, all the 3 tarot cards talk about release your attachment to an outcome. Okay, live the relationship here and now. Live the relationship with what it brings to the table for you here and now, because you're people who are clearly protected by the spirit guides. Okay, you're never going to land up in a scenario which is going to be a big blunder. I mean, what do I mean by a big blunder? Sure, you can hurt and you'll cry, but that's not a big blunder, right? Versus, imagine dating a terrorist or a murderer. That's a big blunder. Yeah, let's move on to your channel messages. For pile 1, I took it from both piles. I think because that hardly... Okay, this pile has a lot of chips falling. Hold on. We'll pull some. Whatever fell. And let's just take some messages from this one in case I miss out on something. Okay. Whatever fell. We will, of course, also do a yes or no. If you guys were confused between pile 1 and pile 2, you might want to hear pile 1, because that's an enneagram type that showed up in pile 1 as well. You could be somebody who has a problem of overgiving, right? That's where your boundaries needs to draw, and that's where your ancestral healing comes into play. This person, the next person who comes into your life, will truly help you ascend to the place, which is why I'm asking you to look at pile 1, because pile 1 clearly had a spiritual relationship coming into their life similar to yours, which will help them ascend to a more successful, grounded place. Okay. Wow, I have very similar messages. Wait, this is not going to be a relationship which will move fast. Like I said, Hangman, let go of your script. 9 wing 1, and if you see, there was a 2 wing 1. This person could clearly be a 1 underlying enneagram. What do I mean by that? Enneagram is, by the way, a personality type test. You can type enneagram on Google and you'll easily find the personality type. Ones are leaders. Ones like to do things their way. The fact that they have wing types as 2 and 9, both of them have a similar message of caregiving, right? With the Palladius message showing up, this would not be a person who will ever be content, and who will never describe success as their own success alone. You know, some people like to, they feel great when everybody around them, when their community thrives, right? Some of us assume that success is when I succeed. Some of us believe that success is when me and everybody I love succeed. Clearly, the next person you're getting into a relationship with is going to be very family oriented, okay? Very rooted to their to the ancestral knowledge they've had, to their mothers and the women that I've already clarified. Books, knowledge is very important for this person and for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, that message always to me tells focus, okay? Focus on where you are. Are you distorted? Do you have illusions? With the 7 of Cups again, you have a lot of FOMO at play. You have so many options that you've forgotten your core value system. You have so many options that you've gotten into the stuck script. Go back to your intuition and go back to the basics. The answer comes there, okay? Also, again, a methodological person. If I'm mispronouncing it, please let me know in the comments below. I think this is an archangel message. Raphael, again, inner chakra healing. Heart chakra healing is very evident for this pile, with the rose quartz, with the crystals, with the 7 of cups, ESFJ. The next personality you date is clearly confident, very confident about who they are and where they are going. Ooh, and an X with that reading showing up with 7 of cups is the delusion that you need to release. Okay, if you have an X script that's running in your mind with the Hangman, I mean, it's not even funny. The next card sheet I open is about Sage. Sage yourself out of this energy which is holding you back from that divine reunion with your ascended partner, your next relationship. Okay, ISFP. These are MBTI type, guys. I'm not elaborating on these because they're pretty self-explanatory. You might know somebody, or the next person you get into a relationship with could be this personality type. Okay. Pink, I mean, come on. Heart chakra healing. How do you do that? You can Google it. But some things that always work for me when I'm looking at my heart chakra healing, with Raphael already showing up for you, I will call on to Raphael before I sleep with that knight card here. Before I sleep, I'll simply play a Raphael meditation and I'll go to bed. I will pray to him. I'll ask him for the healing light. His light and his color is green. The color of heart chakra is green. You might want to envision during your next meditation a green light around the center of your heart, you know, healing you out. Take action towards your own progress. Okay, you're not stuck. If you're single and you think that you're stuck in a loop, you're not. You're just repeating the same script. And I just didn't even complete the sentence and the law of attraction chit showed up. Kind of self-explanatory. May could be a significant month for you. You guys could be a Gemini or a Taurus. Again, with the X and the angel of death and rebirth showing up as real. You've lived this cycle in the past, okay? There's some sort of a past life cycle which is at play. 1980 could be a significant number for you, or a year of birth. Releasing, letting go and clearing energy with the last quarter of the moon. I also said it in the pile 1, which is why I'm asking you to go back and listen to pile 1 as well, if in case you were attracted to that pile. You need to do some cord cutting rituals to let go of what your past scripts has been about your relationships. Don't do it about people. Do it about what you think you are versus who you've become. You've grown and you've ascended, and maybe you don't realize how much growth and ascension has come in. I'm opening these Enneagram and MBTI tips, which clearly means there may be more than one partner that you attract in the next relationship. Music also showed up. You know what? There are 4-5 messages that repeated, and I already put it into different cards on different boxes, so it's not ideally possible for the same messages to show up, and I even gave them an inner shuffle, right? So you must listen to the first pile. That's very evident with the number of slips that I've already repeated. Another Enneagram type. The next person you'll get into a relationship will also be probably a free-spirited person. Same message again. Invest in yourself, okay? Because they are free-spirited, they would not like people who are very clingy. They have been single for a long time, with the single showing up as well. In the first pile, I felt they had recently got single. In the second pile, they've been single for a long time and they're very content with where they are. They do not appreciate people who are not happy with where they are in life, okay? Lastly, Uranus. Probably an Aquarius, Scorpio, except the other signs that I've already given you as a message. Moving on to the last part of the reading. If this reading did resonate with you, please do consider hitting like, share and subscribe. And if you already have a person in your mind whom you want to consider this for, or any other question related to your romantic life or your next relationship, right now take two. Okay, those cards fell out, so I'm going to take them. Isn't this funny how universe affirms? Look at that. Okay. I mean, I rarely shuffle on camera except the yes and no. That's 9 of Wands to the 9 of Wands. You have been resilient and you've been strong for a very long time, and the universe acknowledges it. The universe appreciates it. The person you're going to come into the next relationship with has also had a difficult life and is also very clear-headed. The one thing both of you need to battle is to not get into your trauma-centric situation wherein both of you are very stuck with things not working out for you, because that's the next card, the 10 of Cups. right? You have a script, guys. Clearly, this pile has a script that it needs to break about what their ideal family, happy life looks like. And only because you're not able to do away with that script. If you're single, that's not showing up. If you've just got out of a relationship, a very strong message for you is ask yourself, is your family too interfering? Okay, do you have too many social conditionings or family norms that you need to break away from? Have you been extremely influenced by the societal norms when it comes to, what do you think is a relationship like, or what do you think is a healthy relationship like? Because that needs to be looked at. If you ask me for a yes or no question with those two cards showing up, you are a maybe. Okay, you're a maybe. If you had a person in your mind, the answer right now is maybe. Depending upon where you are with your crystal work, with your inner shadow, with your healing, it's a maybe. Okay, I hope it resonated, and if it did help you, please do consider liking, sharing and subscribing. It means the world to me. Thank you. Take care. Hello and welcome to those of you who's picked this beautiful jade Merkaba. Okay, Merkaba and your cards are so much in sync, it sometimes gives me goosebumps. This is a tarot page that you'll always find honesty with. Merkaba is a sacred geometry shape which always talks about the alignment of the divine feminine and the divine masculine. Okay, with Temperance as the major arcana showing up for you, it's clearly a divine feminine and a divine masculine coming into union. Are you attracting a twin flame? Maybe. Are you already in a relationship with a twin flame? Maybe. Also, are you already in a relationship with a toxic partner? That's also a probability. Okay, so I want you to evaluate yourself at a very honest scale and ask yourself, am I really appreciated? If you want to if you want more guidance around what a real twin flame is, please do put it in the comments below and I'd be happy to make a detailed video. The first thing I really want to tell you, which I've also shared in my Who is Your Future Spouse reading, which you need to go back and listen to, a strong message I already get from this file. Our twin flames will never make us feel like we're not good enough. That's my first clear indication when it comes to, am I in a twin flame relationship? The simple answer is, do you feel more powerful than how you've ever felt in a relationship? They will make us feel angry. They will make us feel triggered. We will have fights with our twin flames, but they never make us question, am I good enough? Am I being rejected for a lack of worth when it comes to the other person? If you can't answer that with an absolute affirmation, and I mean absolute affirmation, don't try to sell yourself any kind of a vague answer just because you like in your heart. If the answer is an absolute yes without a shadow of doubt, you are in a twin flame relationship. It's a very clear matrix. Okay, twin flames come into our life. These are difficult relationships more than anything else because they will increase our self-worth, because they will ask us to believe that we deserve more than what is being served. And even if they make us angry, even if they make us feel as triggered, they will always make us feel that we are more than what we have ever seen, and we are more than what we'll ever be. Okay, twin flames do not come into our lives to make us feel shitty about ourselves. These are not the toxic relationships when they are, how do I say it? You'll never feel unworthy when you've met your twin flame. Okay, that's a basic answer that I want to give you. There's more about twin flames, of course. This is not the only matrix, but this is the basic matrix I consider when it comes to twin flames. How can the person who's here to ascend you make you feel less? They'll always make you feel more. In fact, sometimes so much more that both of you trigger each other's ego, triggers each other's shadow side, to the effect that you run away from each other because you've just made each other feel and realize that you're worthy of more. You deserve more, and now you can't see each other, and now you can't be with each other until you are more enough. Okay, if you know what that meant, that would resonate. If it did not, this pile is not your pile. You can click out and pick another pile. This is a very specific message for very few people. Okay, that's my first message to you guys. The people who've picked this pile with the deep relishment and unbound and the star seed showing up, you already know that you're on a spiritual journey. You already know that this life has more meaning than what it seems at the face value. Okay, you're already people who have spiritually acknowledged, accepted and understood the fact that You know what? This affirmation card sums it up. I'll never ask others to become different for me. You have no control freak mechanisms. You do not try to get the outcome right. You are absolutely in flow with what the universe brings. You are the star seeds. If you do not know what star seeds are, but you've already resonated with every other message I've already given to you so far, please go and Google star seeds and who they are and what they are like, because that might be the first message you need. The next relationship you attract is also perhaps a star seed who comes into your life. This will not be similar personalities. They're pretty much opposites attract with the Temperance and the star seed here. You are here in each other's life, and the next relationship you get into, it's going to be drastically opposite. Okay. When it comes to zodiacs, I have all the earth signs with the pentacles showing up. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I have Sagittarius very strongly present here with the Temperance. I have Judgment and the Scorpio, and again the Capricorn showing up. So clearly, when it comes to Scorpio, Capricorn, there's a clear Pluto and a Saturn at play. And here's where I want to bring your notice to the Unbound card. You've perhaps met this person in the past, okay? Those of you who do not resonate with the twin flame messages that I just gave you so far, this is a strong karmic that you're attracting into your life, and the whole purpose of this karmic coming into your life is perhaps to ascend you to the next level and to release you of the karmic ties and the karmic debts that you still hold on to. In case you were confused between pile 1 and pile 3, both of them have very slightly similar messages for both of you. You might want to go back and listen to pile 1 as well. There is some message for you there. If you are already somebody who's spiritually aligned and who's very spiritually focused, attend more podcasts, more seminars, more workshops, read more groups, because that's perhaps a place where you will see the next relationship come in from. The next relationship you attract may not be the most spiritually aligned person themselves, or it could be vice versa. Let's say you don't think that you're a very spiritually aligned personality, you're not into daily spiritual practices. The next person you bring into your life is going to be somebody who's very spiritually aligned themselves. Vice versa, if you think that you're someone who's extremely spiritual and who has certain spiritual practices in play, you will attract a personality who's an opposite to you. Maybe an atheist, maybe even worse, okay? There is a worse version of atheist, by the way. So there's a worse version of atheist that you might attract because it's a past life relationship, because you are here to teach them into their life what that balance is, okay? Temperance is also balance. Temperance is also healing. Temperance is the perfect card between, as the card you see, if you know who Shiva is and you know who Ardhanarishwar is, he's the right balance between the yin and the yang, the divine feminine and the divine masculine. If you see this personality, this image, the guy standing on one leg yet so balanced, okay? Yoga is one message I want to give you. Workshops, seminars, spiritual alignment is another message I want to give you. These are the different places through which you might attract your next partner. Your partner would be clearly focused on self-improvement, if that is the least to say. They might not be the most spiritual people, but they clearly do also consider, think, rest and rejuvenate and, think through the next action. With the Four of Swords here, an air sign energy, Aquarius, Libra, Scorpio, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. These are the 3 air signs. Excuse my mad brain. Okay, these are the 3 energies that I see. And this person needs to rest it out, needs to contemplate as to where they're going. That's the first energy. Just don't jump into the next relationship just because they seem exciting in the first go, because you need to think things through. This could also be perhaps an ex returning with the Judgment card. Judgment always talks about a return or a judgment day of the things that you've already accumulated through your past life karmas or a past relationship. It might not be a past relationship of your existing life, but perhaps a past relationship of your past lives, right? So there is a circle at play. There's a cyclic relationship that you come into play, but in order to not repeat your typical toxic cycles and in order to make the next time a success, when reconciliation happens, even the next relationship or the next new start to be a success, you need to ascend. And you need to be, and that brings me back to the 6 of Pentacles. The 6 of Wands. Are you receiving and giving? or are you still in a PTSD state? This card to me will always talk about PTSD. I know this particular pictorial description, unlike the typical Rider-Waite tarot deck, which always talks about PTSD in a very clear form than this drawing. When the Six of Wands shows up, it has two energies. First energy is, if you have something in your mind when it comes to your next relationship, if you want to accomplish something through your next relationship, let's say you want to accomplish breaking away from your ancestral patterns and your toxic cycles, this is a clear yes, that yes, the next relationship you get into will not be a repeat cycle of what you've always lived. That's for sure. The judgment has been done. You already will arrive, and there's a lot of angelic support and there's a lot of spirit guide support that you already have when it comes to your next relationship and the energy around your next relationship. That's going to be a successful relationship. On the contrary, there's another caution message that I want to bring to you, which brings me back to this card of deep replenishment. It's very easy to forget that when we come out of a, Six of Wands and Six of Swords and Six of Cups, all the sixes for me have a very basic message that I align with. Even the Lovers, which is the major arcana. How much have you healed from your PTSD? Okay, all the sixes in the tarot talk about a better future. But your better future cannot arrive unless you retreat, rest and be held, which is your guidance card here, right? And do you notice we have two crescent moons? So moon magic and waning and waxing moon, with these two crescent moons and waning and waxing moon showing up for you, is another strong ritual I strongly recommend. Work with the moon phases to attract the right kind of relationship you seek. Moving back to your PTSD message. You've healed, you've become a different person, you have grown to a better place. Yes, the next relationship you will attract will be, from an ego standpoint, a better relationship than you ever had. But can this relationship be really successful if you've not come out of your post-trauma syndrome disorder? What do I mean by that? If you've not heard, I can't remember which reading was it, I gave a very detailed explanation around what PTSD is, but I'll give a shorter one. Let's say you break your leg during a bike ride, right? So when you're riding the bike and you break your leg, breaking the leg is the wound, okay? When your leg heals, that's the physical healing. When you can stand up again and walk again, that's the emotional as well as physical healing, right? When you ride a bike, that's also physical and emotional and psychological healing again, right? But unless you've reached a place wherein you can ride a bike with no memory or no holding back or no triggers around that, taking that scary turn without recollecting that memory wherein you fell off your bike and you broke your leg, have you really healed? Yes, you've grown up. Yes, you've changed. But have you really healed? If you still get scared every time the slightest memory shows up of that last accident, that is what I want you to reconsider during your next relationship, and that is the healing that you need during your next relationship. Do not project what you've already lived because you're too scared, and that's when I again come back to the unbound message. Release soul patterns, contracts and past life, right? That's the message here. If you're repeating that same karma, I understand you're a star seed and you do not feel like you belong here. Some of the experiences you've had have been very alien to you so far. But you do belong here because you came here with a purpose and a mission. And there are many others like you who are your twin flames and your soulmates who do understand you, who do resonate with the message you bring. But if you're consistently repeating that fear psychosis and you're overthinking every relationship, because Four of Swords is another card of message that talks about overthinking and control. Okay, I will not ask others to become different from me. I'll quickly read this message for you. Let your vibrational relationship percolate, sorry if that's wrong, and give it undivided attention so that you become a vibrational match to it. And then when the law of attraction brings all of it together, there are not any bugs to work out. Do not ask the person who helped you define what you want. I'm going to repeat that line, guys, because that gave me goosebumps, okay? For whatever reason, this is a very specific message for somebody who's going to listen to this read. Do not ask the person who helped you to define what you want to become what you want so that you can have what you want, okay? Instead, use your willpower to focus upon what you want, and the universe will bring your want. If you already have a person in your mind whom you hope to get into a relationship with, and they're not exactly what you'd hope them to be, you need to come to a place of acceptance. Either you accept them for who they are because they have ignited this twin flame growth in you, and you understand that their journey is always going to be very different from your journey, and you take that with a positive, happy, open space, or you let them go. Not all of us will marry our twin flames, and that's absolutely okay. But you need to make the decision. Are you ready to accept the person for who they are and what they bring into your life without any judgment? Again, back to the judgment card, right? The next relationship you also get into would perhaps be with a musician or somebody who has an artistic talent. Okay, somebody who clearly knows, has a deep thinker, is perhaps more aligned to their inner self, and knows how to, let's say, they win in life, but not maybe always in that materialistic way. Okay, there is, I mean, they might have money, and I have no cards here that show that they do not have money, but they're not very focused on winning at the cost of materialistic wins. But they are more focused on winning, am I emotionally happy and content? They will also sometimes overthink their decisions, which is what's telling me that they perhaps have a strong air placement. They might not be a sun, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, but somewhere in their birth chart, and they perhaps have retrograde placements as well, because retrograde placements tend to make people more overthinkers. I do not judge overthinkers. I think they are beautiful, wonderful people. I've been an overthinker for a longest period of my time myself. I'm an air sign with a Libra sun and heavy Aquarius placements. It's only over time and through spiritual connection I've really come to a place wherein I've actually let go. Sometimes dangerously let go is what some people will say. But you know that overthinkers are always overcarers, right? They care more is why they overthink more. So that's a message I also want to give to you in case you're listening to this message and you consider yourself less than the other people just because repeatedly you've been told, oh, you overthink too much. It's not a bad trait. Sure, it's something that can sometimes hold you back, but it's not something that you're supposed to be shamed for. Who overthinks? People who overthink are people who overcare. People who care, people who are sensitive, people who value what their action would have a consequence on other people are typically people who overthink. They might have insecurities that they need to deal with, which is why they're subconsciously overthinking every decision. They might have self-doubt, which is a different concern. But you don't have to be ever shamed, and you don't have to feel less just because you've overthought certain things. Again, the next person you get into a relationship might also have these energies, and you might be the person who brings in them that healing and that understanding so that they can understand, you know, what living life without these hang-ups and these hooks are. Okay, let's get into your channel messages. I have a lot of chips falling. Whatever falls, falls. Okay, I have some that I've already got out. And don't worry, I'm not getting less messages for you. We'll just pull some from the other pile as well. Let's take some more from this. Okay. And let's see. Wow, that's too many. So I'm just going to put some back. Those are a little too many for you. Let's see. We'll just take these back. Okay. So, of course, we're going to do your yes and no as well. E4. This is an enneagram type. I personally know someone who's an E4. Very protective people. Okay. So first message I can clearly give you, they're protective people. The next relationship you're going to get into is going to be protective people. Again, like I said, if you were confused between 3 and 1, you might have a message between 3 and 1 because that's 2 in enneagram 1. A leader, you know, somebody with a leadership skill. March, Pisces and Aries could be important, or the month of March could be important for you, or the month of spring could be important for you. You might be seeing the angel number 111 repeatedly. You might want to Google. I don't like to give people the messages around angel numbers. Typically, oh wow, that's my enneagram type, huh, by the way. So E8, that's an affirmation for me. E8, protective, successful, ambitious, but also somehow, you know what, E8 and E4 together showing up, since I know both personalities very closely. Both of you could be ENTPs or ESTPs as personality types. Both of you might have strong ambitions. The next person you get into a relationship with would have strong ambitious values. Okay, 333, take an action, get into the action mode. You might want to Google again that angel number. Animals is going to be a place of connection for both of you. You are someone who's very rooted to nature and animal care. Okay, 1 wing 2, again 1 wing 2 and 2 wing 1 showing up. Leaders and caretakers with animals and 1 wing 2 and 2 wing 1, leaders and caretakers. 1980, this could be the birth year of the person, or some sort of a number significance. Mercury with the overthinking card showing up. You could be a Gemini or a Virgo. The person you attract into your next life could be a Gemini or a Virgo. This could not be the sun signs alone. Business partner. You know what, that's a strong message, good point. I did not say it because I didn't have enough tarot cards to talk about it, which is why I'm again saying, in case you were attracted to pile 1, guys, go and listen to pile 1, because pile 1 had a very strong message about work relationships or work colleagues becoming the next relationship. Okay, so you might meet this person through some business partnership. They might not be your direct work colleagues, but somewhere in some way they are associated to your profession or a creative project. Europe could be a place, or could be where they live, or could be where the next relationship happens for you. I have the devil, which is always represented in tarot with the energy of Capricorn. I already had Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn showing up for you. Your next relationship could be a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, but your devil or your nemesis, okay, that Achilles heels could be your overthinking, and you considering, you acting from a space of PTSD. Intuitively, you already know maybe who the next person could be, but you're in a denial mode, or they could be very intuitively aware as to, before you even know that it's you who they are going to be with. February, that's an Aquarius. So I have Aquarius, I have all the air signs repeatedly showing up, and I have all the air signs, I have all the earth signs repeatedly showing up. Okay, again, animal, clearly the next person you get into would love animals and would have an affection or generating an affection towards animal. That could be another message. The fact that I have animals and Ariel showing up, typically animals alone would mean an animal lover, but Ariel is an archangel who's the transformative angel who connects us to nature. Okay, so this could be a person who's just recently gotten into spirituality. That could be another thing. And wow, I didn't even realize I'm holding the card of North Node in my hands while I'm talking. So again, this could be a person who's ascending towards their next spiritual growth. Okay, North Node is also Rahu. You might want to, if you don't know your birth chart yet, guys, that's one thing I strongly recommend. Go to Astro Matrix or go to Astro Sage. Astro Matrix is for Western astrology. Astro Sage is for Vedic astrology. Go and understand your birth chart. Go and research on every placement that you have. That's going to be a game changer for you throughout your life, especially your North Node. And this person is very much in alignment with your North Node. With February and Uranus both showing up, again, I strongly recommend go listen to pile 1. And this could be a person who's revolutionarily different. This is again opposites attract. Was it you guys? Yeah, it was you who got Temperance, right? So Uranus and Temperance showing up, Sagittarius, Aquarius. This is not somebody who's going to make you feel very comfortable in your next relationship. Okay, this is out of your comfort zone. Creative pursuits and hobby, again, you need to focus on you. I don't know why I repeatedly feel like this pile has a very strong connection to the first pile. Okay, afternoon, whatever that means to you. Okay, both of you could be born in afternoon. You guys might meet in the afternoon. You would know what it specifically means to you. This is an MBTI personality type, ESFP. If you don't know what MBTI is, and if you don't know your own personality type, you might want to Google that is. Traveling is another message. Considering I have Sagittarius with Temperance showing up, obviously, again with the, similar to pile 1, you might meet this person while you're traveling, or they might love traveling themselves, and Sagittarius typically do as a zodiac. So that's another thing that will be strong bonding for you. With 444 and E4 showing up, this person you will always feel, whether they're in your life or they're not, whether they are actively engaged with you or not, they're very protective people. Okay, and you will always feel the energy of protection around them. Almost possessive, but not always possessive, but definitely protective. 444 is also the archangel number, so you're being guided towards that divine relationship. E5 is another enneagram type. Wow, this is getting a long reading, right? 2 wing 3. I mean, that's too many times 2 showing up. So they definitely have a lot of affection for you. There's a fire sign which is strongly presented. Candle magic is one thing I strongly recommend to you for attracting your next relationship sooner. And with that comes goal setting and planning. If you're somebody who's not very focused on your love life, you're not going to attract the person unless you really want the person, right? So maybe you want to focus on creating a vision board or meditating, like this card says, meditating on what you really want and who is really the person whom you hope to get into with. Because if you don't have focus, I'm not going to say this, which is very obvious, sex. Guys, passion with the Sagittarius and that Six of Wands. This person will publicly explain to you how much they like you, how much they're attracted to you. There's never going to be a confusion around, do they like me? Clearly, there's a third party at play before they come into existence, into your life, or they, or this third party doesn't always mean the third person, okay, by the way. It could be their job, there could be family, there could be other entanglements that hold them back from you. With the Judgment card, maybe that's the reason that didn't work out the first time. Night owls or night people, you might meet them at night time. Night and afternoon have both shown up. Again, a very strong energy of Saturn, which means that this relationship won't sail smooth with the star seeds as well, right? Star seeds don't typically have easy relationships. And I have the crown chakra. You must focus on your spiritual ascension and the next relationship will smoothly flow into you. Sage, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. There's a video on my Instagram account around smudging and sage. If you don't know what sage is and if you don't know what smudging is, there's a protection magic series that I've already created on my Instagram account of Tarot Pal. You might want to go back and check that. I think it's a lovely video. I think you'll enjoy it. Charity. Do donation work because clearing out your past karmas is very important for this pile. 5 wing 4, clearly the energy of 4 and 2 is very strong. Your numerological life path could be 2 and 4. Abundance, pretty self-explanatory, right? I'm just talking for the heck of it. 999, you're coming to a closure of a relationship or a relationship cycle. Monsoon could be important for both of you or one of you. 2030, in case you were looking for a timeline around this, I have 1980 and 2030 both showing up. I have morning, evening, afternoon, all of them show up. If you did resonate with the messages, please do consider liking, sharing and subscribing. Every subscribe does mean a lot to me. And now we're going to move to a yes or no question. Take some 3 deep breaths. Focus on your question. Let go of the attachment of the outcome. And let's see what shows up for you. Okay. Too many cards. I'm going to take 1 card only. Or maximum 2, since I took 2 for pile 2. Yes or no. Thank you so much. I think we have 2 falling. Upright only. Wow, we have 2 2s. 222 is another number that you might be seeing, or multiples of 2. 2 of cups and 2 of swords. The answer is clearly a yes, but the yes comes from your intuition. I think we did pull the intuition, right? I'm not too sure if I did pull this one. You intuitively need to make a decision. You will not have the clear signs with the star seeds again. I'm going to go back to the star seeds card for a minute. Star seeds don't always get the right indication. And do you see the Jupiter ring here? Jupiter is about expansion, right? So sometimes you need to expand. 2 of swords is about making a decision, but that decision does, wow. Guys, okay, this is crazy. That's your 4th crescent moon, right? Moon magic is very important for this pile. If you work with moon magic, it will bring you wonderful healing and that relationship will definitely grow. 2 of swords and 2 of cups. The next person you attract, they will have reciprocity for sure. Okay, did I mispronounce that? Anyway, you will know that they love you and you will know that intuitively. Okay, this is an equal give and take of affection. There's no one person loves the other more. There's a strong Libra, Leo, and accept the other energies that I've already shared with you here. This is a healing relationship. That was your reading about your next relationship incoming. Please do consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. Would mean the world to me. Thank you so much for your time. Take care. Have a good day.